Imagine this. You walk into a party where the music is just loud enough to erase your thoughts, the lights are low-budget mysterious, and your social battery is already on 12%. You don't know a soul. Your brain starts scanning the room like airport security. Threats, opportunities, free snacks. Then you see them. Across the room, wearing a jacket so bold it looks like it dropped out of a legendary loot crate. The kind of jacket that doesn't whisper, style, it shouts, main character. So you walk up and say something. But not, nice jacket, because nice jacket is the conversational equivalent of unsalted fries. Instead, you zoom in. The colors on that jacket go crazy. It actually fits your whole vibe. And just like that, the air changes. Because a specific compliment isn't small talk, it's a social lockpick. It doesn't knock on the door, it clicks it open. People don't remember every word you say, but they always remember how you made them feel. Seen, noticed, chosen. And once you realize that, you stop complimenting people and you start unlocking them. And speaking of unlocking people, let's talk about the fastest way to go from random human to featured character. You get introduced to someone, they say their name, you nod, you smile, and your brain deletes it like embarrassing search history. Gone. Vanished. Never existed. So here's the resurrection spell. Use their name immediately. Not aggressively, not like a customer service robot, but naturally. They mention their hobby, their job, their passion, and you drop their name into the moment. It's like hanging a glowing tag on their identity inside your memory. But here's the deeper magic. When someone hears their own name used genuinely, early in a conversation, it hits different. It cuts through noise. It signals intention. It says, you're not just background energy. I clocked you. Just don't overuse it. Say it too much and you start sounding like a motivational email. Use it just enough and you turn a stranger into a person. Now, once you've got the door open and the name remembered, there's a subtle shift that separates awkward exchanges from real connection. Energy. Because sometimes you're talking to someone who's on triple shot espresso mode, and sometimes you're talking to someone who sounds like they're being narrated by a documentary voice. And your instinct is to stay exactly how you are. But connection doesn't happen in contrast, it happens in resonance. That's where the mirror move comes in. Not copying, not parroting, syncing. If they're relaxed, you slow the tempo. If they're animated, you bring your rhythm up. It's not manipulation, it's musical. You're not changing your song, you're tuning your instrument. And when two people feel like they're on the same frequency, the walls come down, the performance ends. The conversation starts to feel less like an interview and more like a vibe. But even with all that, none of it matters if you never step in. Because there's always that one moment. You see a group, there's space in the circle, physically open, emotionally terrifying. Your brain starts writing a disaster movie. What if they stare? What if I interrupt? What if I ruin society? Here's your override button. The 3-second rule. The second you feel the instinct to enter, count down. 3, 2, 1, move. No negotiation, no TED Talk in your head. Confidence is not a mood, it's a click. The longer you wait, the louder doubt gets. But when you move fast, you beat hesitation to the controls. And suddenly, you're not watching the scene, you're in it. Now that you're inside the conversation, here's how you stop being forgettable in it. Someone tells you about something they care about, a hobby, a project, a weird obsession with juggling. Most people nod, say that's cool, and mentally open another browser tab. You don't. You echo. You pick one word, one detail, and you toss it back with curiosity. Juggling? What kind? Like normal stuff or unhinged stuff? That echo does two powerful things. First, it proves you were actually listening, not just waiting to speak. Second, it hands them the spotlight, and people love the spotlight. Not to be admired, but to be understood. Echoing is how you turn noise into dialogue. It's how you tell someone, I'm here. And once someone feels that, that's when the real shift can happen. Because every conversation hits that wall. Weather, traffic, busy, tired, NPC dialogue. And if you want to break it, you don't go deeper, you go real. Not trauma, not oversharing, just human. Honestly, I almost didn't come tonight. That one sentence does more than 10 fun facts ever could. Because vulnerability is permission. It quietly says, you can take the mask off too. And often, they do. Connection doesn't need intensity. It needs sincerity. A crack, a spark, something true enough to feel. But even the best conversations have an expiration date. Sometimes you're 10 minutes deep into someone explaining the spiritual journey of their kombucha brand, and your soul is buffering. So here's the power move nobody teaches. The clean exit. I'm gonna grab a drink and float around, but it was really nice talking to you. Simple, kind, closed. No escape plan explanations, no fake emergencies. Your time is a resource. Your energy is a budget. And knowing when to leave is part of knowing how to connect. Because the best interactions don't collapse, they fade. And here's where it gets interesting. Because connection doesn't end when the conversation does. Weeks later, you see something random, a frog meme, and you remember. Someone once mentioned they loved frogs. So you send it. No speech, no setup, just the callback. And suddenly, you're not a person they met. You're a person who remembered. Callbacks are emotional receipts. They say, you left an impression. And that's rare. In a world where attention is rented, remembering is intimacy. Now, before we close, let me give you one bonus weapon, because this one quietly upgrades every conversation you'll ever have. Intentional curiosity. Listen for the thread people mention, but don't pull. I'm working on something new. My weekend was wild. That's a door. Most people walk past it. You open it. What made it wild? What kind of project? Not to interrogate, to explore. Curiosity, when genuine, is magnetic. It tells someone, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to know. And when someone feels known, they relax. They light up. They stop performing. You don't have to be the most interesting person in the room, just the most interested. Because interest builds connection, and connection builds presence. And presence is unforgettable. So, if this gave you even one idea you're going to try the next time you walk into a room, do me a favor. Hit like so the algorithm stops acting socially awkward. Subscribe if you want more psychology-backed, real-world social upgrades. And drop a comment telling me which one you're testing first, because I promise you, the way people respond to you is about to change.